Welcome back to Raiders franchise, and the original plan for this episode was to kind of show you guys some of the prospects. However, because it's only week 3, there really aren't any of these guys that are scouted at all. Like, even the top percentages, right? Quentin Holmes is 20%. We still don't really know anything about him other than he's not really that athletic, and that's pretty much it. So, we are going to do focus scouting for each different region in this episode, which will just take a second, but we really can't show off the prospects because we don't know anything about them yet. I'm going to set the West to be safety for the focus position. Again, I've said this in a million different videos, but I just don't think quarterback makes a lot of sense to be the main focus position. There are just so few of them that it typically doesn't make any sense. That doesn't mean never, but it typically doesn't. And I kind of wish I would have done corner and wide receiver for the Central. There are a lot of corners in this top group. I mean, you guys know I have an affinity for safeties. Let's continue to do safety, I guess. Quarterback, I think, could make sense for this region. There are 3 of them, so I'll do that. That was the plan going in. And then I guess we'll do wide receiver for the Southeast. Now, corner is a position of need. So what we're going to do probably, if there appear to be good corners in this draft, which there are good corners in every draft, typically very, very good players. Although, I don't know if they're going to be good corners in this class. Only 2 guys projected to go round 1, but we can just use those guys as focus players. So that'll be pretty easy. But I'm particularly excited about this QB. He's the only 20-year-old in the entire draft. A lot of development potentially, and has elite to great throw power. So I'm certainly interested. We're going to have to see what the attributes look like, of course, but there's definitely a lot to be intrigued about at the very least. This video is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. They have season-long picks right now, and I like the value on quite a few of these. You can use code BENGAL on Underdog Fantasy. You can get a 50% deposit match, but here's this. Instead of just a chance at $250 in bonus cash, you can now receive up to $1,000 in bonus cash. If you're a high roller, any deposit $2,000 or more is capped at $1,000. But I feel like I like where some of these numbers happen to be. Josh Allen, 27.5 passing touchdowns. Obviously, he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league, and maybe losing Stephon Diggs could hurt this production, but Allen's kind of exceeded this number, and I have no reason to expect that he's going to do anything different. Like, I get no Stephon Diggs, but 37, 36, 35. Last year's 29, but I have reason to believe he's going to bounce back more than take a step back. Tyreek Hill is just an animal. I think he could certainly exceed 1,435.5 receiving yards. And then I've got Jalen Hurts lower on passing touchdowns. Yes, I am a hater, but also Jalen Hurts has never exceeded that in his career, and the Philadelphia game is just so predicated on running the football. You bring in Saquon Barkley, I'm not sure that's going to change. But there's so many different season-long picks you can go ahead and put in. When you use code BENGAL, again, you get that 50% deposit match, but also, instead of $250 in bonus cash, you can now receive up to $1,000 in bonus cash. Use code BENGAL, make some picks, and send them to me on Twitter. I want to see what you guys are picking. I want to make some money too. Nice to have a week with no practice injuries as well. If you remember in the last episode, we unfortunately had some bad injury news. We had Jackson Powers-Johnson missing that game, but he'll be back. Max Crosby tore his labrum. Not ideal, but it's actually not as long-term as I was initially thinking. So only missing the next 3 games, not really that big of a deal, to be honest. So, yeah, we're going to have to replace that level of production. We don't get a ton of pressure anyway, but Crosby was playing decently well, especially last game. I think he had 2 sacks, as Aiden O'Connell will get a slight upgrade here, but never enough to be our franchise quarterback. I mean, certainly not. It just can't be. Gardner Minshew's not either, even though he was named the starter in real life. We, in all likelihood, will end up drafting a quarterback. I mean, I'm not going to say that that's going to be the only first-round pick we make or it's guaranteed, but we are very likely drafting a QB. I don't know how bad we're going to be, though. I don't know what our pick's going to be. With the overalls in the game this year, I mean, it feels like every team is not that different. It feels like every team is fairly beatable. We are 1-1. The Chargers gave us some trouble in week 1, but it wasn't really too bad. And then we just beat the Ravens in Baltimore in week 2. So, are the Panthers going to provide much of a challenge? We'll have to see. Again, if things are like particularly easy, I will change the sliders. It's default all Madden, but I do want to make it a little bit more challenging. I think that's better for the series in general. You don't want to see a Super Bowl in year one. Where's the build of the series, right? So we'll see what happens, but you know, I'm pretty confident we have all the skill required to beat the Panthers, as Bryce Young will take the field. We played Bryce Young very early into Falcons franchise, of course. We saw his NFL debut, in fact, and we're seeing him pretty early in this series as well, but now in year two. I think he takes a big step up in real life. I feel like people have already kind of wrote off Bryce Young, being like, oh man, the Panthers are such a dumpster fire organization for taking him over CJ Stroud. Even the owner basically pretty much said that as well, but that guy's a massive clown. But Bryce Young could definitely be good. You got to like recognize that not only was the play calling terrible, and that's why they brought in Dave Canales, I would imagine, but they had a really awful offensive line and receivers that couldn't get open. They've done a lot to rectify those problems with bringing in Deontay Johnson to get open. Obviously, they drafted Xavier Legette, is how you say it, Xavier Legette, in the first round. They brought in Jonathan Brooks as well, hook 'em horns. That's a running back who can get open in the receiving game. And then they upgraded the offensive line. They paid big-time money to Robert Hunt, who slides right in there at right guard, I believe. Still Taylor Moton. If Ike Ekwonu takes a step up, it's going to be big news. But Jack Jones jumps in front, intercepts it, and goes all the way back for 6. Just kidding. Bryce Young sucks. Jack Jones, pick 6. What a start to the game. What a start. I mean, it couldn't really go much better than that. I don't know why Bryce Young even decides to throw this ball. That is Deontay Johnson, not wide open. And we get 6 points and now 7 right to start the game. Gotta love it. Get to the flat. They're going to call illegal contact on that. I'm not trying to run into him. I'm trying to get out to the sideline. It's going to be, I mean, that's annoying. It's not a huge penalty or anything, but it's annoying. 2nd and 3. It's user Divine Diablo. Now that's going to change our assignments a little bit. No, it's still going to be, let's go zone coverage. Yeah, I mean, it's so frustrating the assignments didn't change. I tried to get out to zone coverage. It didn't let me. And then we're stuck kind of cross-manned across the formation. And there's no way in hell we can ever get over there if it's any type of an outside route. Young sees it immediately. Typically, the assignments change when motion happens in man coverage. It didn't happen there. I don't know why. Like, did we... I don't know. Do we have a blitz on that side that there wasn't anybody capable of picking it up? I don't know. Doesn't really make much sense to me, and that could be a touchdown. It's going to be just shy. Adam Thielen down on the 1. And now we have another injury on the defensive line. It's Malcolm Koonce, and he's played well. Had a really big preseason. Had to step in for the injured Max Crosby. And we see not even a quarter of him as the starter before going down. And that's going to be a touchdown. Jonathan Brooks. Panthers tie it right back up pending the point after. I would say that drive looked too easy. I think we were capable of making a stop, but that, manned up across the formation problem really put us in a bad spot. Pec strain for Malcolm Koonce, so we'll go ahead and rest him a little bit, but also Tyree Wilson's taking his place, which doesn't make any sense because Tyree Wilson is now the other starter on the edge. I don't know. I imagine we'll see like Amari Gaynor or somebody come into that spot. We'll see, but I would pretty much be fine with anybody. It's not like we have a rookie to develop in that spot. Like Charles Snowden, maybe we could bring in, see if he can make an impact. But Gardner Minshew and the Raiders offense will take the field for the first time. Of course, had the pick 6. So this is the first time we're seeing Minshew Mania today. And those are numbers. You really can't argue that. They are numbers. And they're not overall that bad after 2 games. A lot of yards. Touchdown to interception ratio admittedly could be better. But have you seen me play before? I don't know that that's ever going to change. Now, I typically get more conservative and smarter as the series goes on. Typically, not always. I'm still prone to hitting the wrong button. Man, I love doing that. I don't know how that happens so much. Just bad under pressure, I guess. 3rd and 6. We got Lauby out there. He's going to catch a screen and hopefully get a block. He's going to fall ahead, but there's a flag. You'd have to expect that this is going to be holding. And that's exactly what it is. So we'll do 3rd down all over again. Cody Whitehair brings it back. And hopefully we can pick up the 9 yards we need. I'd love for Davante Adams to get open. We'll have to see if that happens. But that's going to be open. It's Jacoby Myers. Wide open, and that's a 1st down. Back-to-back 3rd down conversions, only one of them counting. And Henry Anderson injured on the play. Could be a decent player for the Panthers on the D-line. See, like, getting bumped is so frustrating. Minshew on the move. He's actually going to outrun, is that DJ Wanham? That was kind of dicey, but we had Davante Adams on a drag, but these guys just get bumped, and then, I mean, the route completely falls apart. Here's 1st and 10. I think we just go with that post. There's Davante Adams. Can't catch it in stride. But we do pick up the 1st down. I just like to trust him sometimes. I am intercepted on occasion, just trying to get the football out to Davante Adams. But also it works out really well sometimes. As I tried to lob that in the air, I've only tapped the button. And Minshew throws a bullet right at the linebacker, Shaq Thompson there. That's a good route. I don't really know what else we can do. I feel like the timing on that was pretty good. Just not really an accurate ball from Gardner Minshew. And we're going to find ourselves looking at 3rd and 10. And I think we just got to go to Davante Adams. Good timing on the route. Good catch. Turn back up the field. Can't find the end zone. But we catch it inside the 5. 1st and goal now from the 2. Actually wanted to run here. You know what? QB draw with Gardner Minshew. What could go wrong? Actually nothing, really, other than that takes so long to develop. Our offensive line was great. But Gardner Minshew riding a bucking Bronco into the end zone. QB draw for Gardner Minshew. I mean, it's unusual, but it's effective. Oh, and I've missed the extra point. Okay, a little bit too much power on that, I guess. Why did I do that? Okay, very cool. It's always something. All day for Bryce Young. He's going to find a wide open Deontay Johnson, who's clearly very impressed with himself. The immediate applause after you catch a 1st down is crazy. But will we see one more snap here in the 1st quarter? We will not. So we're up 13-7 following a touchdown and a missed extra point. Got a pick 6 from Jack Jones. We played pretty well today. Just a little bit of a coverage mishap, miscommunication down the field allowed the Panthers to find the end zone in the end. But there's a lot of game left. We can definitely go ahead and extend our lead here. But in order to extend our lead, we need to stop. And then subsequently the football back. And down goes Bryce Young. Tommy Eichenberg, the rookie out of Ohio State, off the edge with the sack. Play action for the Panthers does not work. And maybe it's because they haven't attempted a run play. I can see that being a factor. And right on cue. Now, that might be the 2nd attempt for Jonathan Brooks. But it's not very effective on 2nd and forever. And that will set up 3rd and forever. 3rd and 19. For the Carolina Panthers. Still very much in field goal range, but we'll see if they play for the field goal or if they want a touchdown. And they certainly are not going to get a touchdown. Young does scramble, and Malcolm Kuntz is back in the game and injured again. Keep him off the field! All right, just a field goal lead for us. But I imagine we would go for 2 if we score a touchdown. So that's going to be the goal right now. Find the end zone, go for 2, make it 21 again. I would say that's probably the best course of action. But I don't know. If we don't get it then, we have just 19, and then it's a 9-point game as opposed to a touchdown and a field goal for 10. So, I don't know. Maybe I'm conflicted because we're not able to find Brock Bowers. I'll tell you who's made no impact in this series whatsoever. Nice block from Lauby. Sets up Jacoby Myers for the first. But Michael Mayer has made absolutely no impact at all. He just doesn't get in the game. I mean, we don't really run a lot of 2 tight end sets. Brock Bowers is mostly played in line. I'm curious to see what the Raiders do in real life. I imagine it's a lot of Brock Bowers either in the slot or out wide or lined up like, you know, you typically find an H-back with Mayer kind of playing that more inline role. But Bowers can also do that. So when I say Bowers can also do that, Bowers can also play in line. So I'm very curious to see what the plan ends up being, because Mayer's a good player. He's not Brock Bowers, but he's a good player. But yeah, I would imagine Bowers is just the move tight end, and they run a lot of technically 12 personnel, but Bowers is not exactly your typical inline tight end. 2nd and 2, rocking with Lauby again. And there goes Lauby, big spin move for Lauby. And the rookie running really well. We're giving him more opportunities after a fumble last week. I really like what he adds in the receiving game. You still should see quite a bit of Zamir White. Alexander Mattison also fighting for attempts. We had this debate last week. You know, I have not decided on a real true starting running back. But when Zamir White and Dylan Lauby put the football on the ground, it obviously makes me want to give Alexander Mattison more opportunities. I just think overall, he's the worst of the 3. Nice block there from Michael Mayer. And the reason I say that is I think White is a better in-between the tackles runner for us. And I think Lauby's a better receiving back. So what does that do for Alexander Mattison? Jack of all trades, master of none. It's not really the best thing to be. As we're just going to scramble with Minshew here and pick up a few yards. It looked like everything was kind of covered. 2nd and goal. Minshew is not really doing much. 3rd and goal now from the 5. Where do we end up going with this one? I really don't like slants. I feel like I can never get the ball out quickly enough, and it just usually doesn't result in anything positive. Now, that pass is caught by Jacoby Myers, but he somehow does not find the end zone. And I do agree with going for it in this spot. Carolina's called a timeout. Can we move Harrison Bryant over? Might be a legal formation. Might not be possible. We'll hopefully just follow blocks and find the end zone, and that's exactly what we do. Zamir White kind of stuffed right at the goal line, but just got the ball over the plane. And that is another touchdown for our Raiders here in the first half. We've played well. Offense is pretty easy, to be honest. And I know it's the Panthers, but it's pretty easy. Let's at least consider going for 2. It's the end of the first half. Yeah, I think we'll run it. White up the middle, powering in, and short. It is a 9-point game, so exactly what we feared. Now missing the extra point is coming back to doubly hurt us. It's still a 2-possession game. It's 9 points. Still a 2-possession game. We don't go for 2 if he keeps it a 1-possession game. I promise you that. But it's not the touchdown, forced 2-point conversion plus a field goal that we would, have at 11 points, which is in a better spot, in my opinion. But 9 isn't so bad. And we'll see if we can get the football back before the half and do something about that. I would take 22-10. I'd be more than happy with that. Adam Thielen's been a problem today. 5 for 42. Not really a ton of yardage, but he's just been pesky. A little bit annoying. Like, bullshit like that. That could be an interception. No, it's not. Jack Jones looking for number 2, but doesn't cut ahead of the route. In fact, stays behind Deontay Johnson. Does end up forcing an incompletion, but it could have been better. He was in position to make a play, and it just didn't quite happen. 3rd and 5. Look who it is. Adam Thielen again. But a linebacker on him is a bad matchup. So I totally get why Bryce Young and the Panthers would look to take advantage of that. And they are. They totally are. We staying on that? Jonathan Brooks underneath. Broken tackle. Ends up somehow getting a yard. Panthers down to just 1 timeout. No huddle. Takes 12 seconds off the clock. Even after gaining pretty much no yards. And it's Adam Thielen again. He has like 8 catches in the first half. They better call a timeout or else there's going to be like 5 seconds to play. Oh, they didn't call a hurry up, so they have no time off the clock. They've got to fix that. I mean, it's completely backwards. It's completely stupid. 10 seconds to go in the half, though. No timeout called. Adam Thielen again. And now we will see the final timeout and a field goal try for Carolina. Not the result they were probably wanting in the end, but 3 points isn't so bad. It'll keep them in the game, and it'll take them to the second half down by just 1 score. Last play of the first half will be a run. And I don't know if the blocks were supposed to develop there. I never even hit right trigger, and we just got shot into somebody. Zamir White getting chippy with Shaq Thompson. But that is the first half, up 19-13. The extra point that was missed kind of killed us in a way. Still have the lead. Still in a fine spot. We'll get the football to start half number 2. So I like where we are overall. And here we go. Second half underway. Lauby will get an opportunity to return this time around. And the block is just completely ignored. Good block. Zamir White cuts back out the field. Zamir White to the outside. Down the sideline. Back inside. Zamir White, run of his career. Zamir White goes all the way. And we have certainly established the run now. What a run from Zamir White. The cutback was beautiful. The cut to the outside was great. The blocks were awesome. Quickly developing and gave White an opportunity to pretty much go untouched into the end zone. We will go for 2 to make it 27. You imagine 3 touchdowns that end in no extra points following it? But that's what we're looking at. And I'm gonna lose it! No, I'm cool, calm, and collected, like always. God, dude. How is this nothing? It's going to be a wide open slant. Wide open. Look at where you're going. It is going to be wide open. We get bumped, and this is nothing. It's not pass interference. It's not illegal contact. It's nothing, and it's 25-13. They've got to do something about the getting bumped consistently on every route. I know, but Bengal players get bumped all the time in real life, but it results in something, right? It can be a penalty, especially if the ball's in the air, right? It isn't just nothing, sorry. Also, players can avoid getting bumped. Davante Adams is not blind. He's not just going to run straight into the guy. Sidestep him. It makes me a little annoyed, I have to admit. But, all right, we got a touchdown. So that's something. And that's going to be, yep, Adam Thielen. His 10th catch. He's got nearly 100 yards receiving at the start of the third quarter. How about some pressure from the D-line? You guys want to do anything? Young's just going to step up. Yeah, there it is. We knew that was going to happen. There it is. Robert Spillane. Nice tackle on Jonathan Brooks. And I do agree with the Panthers' decision to go for it here. We'll see if it ends up working, but I think down 25-13, like, what does a field goal really do for you in this spot when you can just throw it to Adam Thielen, who might catch 18 passes today? Yeah, we just can't cover Adam Thielen. Trying for it. Can't do it. Yeah, they could actually run some type of a counter here. This could go to the left very easily. And Divine Diablo right in the lane with help from Isaiah Polamau. And that is a really nice stop. We've defended the run really, really well. We fit the run so well. We've shot into gaps, made plays. We have not defended the pass well. That's for sure. Divine Diablo! See, I'm trying to hit stick and it wants me to switch to the secondary. Why do that? The switch stick is actually kind of annoying. I like the idea of it. I don't think it works that well. 3rd and goal. We just didn't cover that. Didn't cover that either. And there's a flag. I want to say he stepped out of bounds. So this should be illegal touching and not a touchdown for Xavier Lee yet. And I would say this is coming back. It is going to be illegal touching. We catch a break there. There were a lot of open receivers. And Bryce Young ended up throwing to the only one who really couldn't score a touchdown legally. So it'll be 25-16. Still a really good spot for us. 2-possession game. Field goal would even put us in great position. So now it's just time to kind of take time off the clock and try to walk out of here with a win. Oh, and we fumbled the ball. We're no longer in a really good spot. The fumbles, man. I mean, our team is just fumbling at a crazy rate. Undisciplined. Unbelievable. And now a Carolina Panthers touchdown makes this incredibly interesting. Spillane in coverage. Cannot force the incompletion at CJ Uzomah with the first down. Just wide open. And I'm sure this man coverage is not going to work out incredibly well. No, it didn't. Touchdown CJ Uzomah. I guess that's their best player now. Adam Thielen era is over. That's the Uzomah spike. Unreal. All that off a fumble. And now it's not even a field goal game. A field goal for the Panthers would give them the lead here. We are only up by 2. 2nd and 5. Zamir White doesn't have that top-level explosiveness, but 10 rushes for 106 yards is pretty awesome. 3rd and 3. I think we probably just let this go to the 4th quarter. Up 25-23. I don't really like 3rd and 3, to be honest, because I want to run the ball here. And I know running the ball on 3rd and 3 does one thing, and it set up 4th and 1. And I don't like that at this area of the field. So I think it'd be in our best interest to pass the football. We really haven't had a ton of offensive snaps here. Bowers is open. Would have loved a block from Davante Adams, but that is a really nice first down. Time to take a shot off play action. 2nd and 8. It's a great spot for it. We're under pressure, and down goes Minshew. DJ Wanham completely blows that up. I figured that was a great time for play action. We've been running the ball fairly successfully and frequently as well. 2nd and 8. Take a play action shot down the field. We had no time to get that off. And I'm curious what happened here. So let's see how many they blitz. They blitz 5, meaning we should have one offensive lineman for every single blitzer. And we had just have our left guard not picking up anything. And that's tough. And we didn't slide protect. I totally get that. But I'd love a little bit of awareness from the rookie Jackson Powers Johnson to give us some time and not have an unblocked guy come in. But yeah, ideally Colton Miller would pick up the edge, but I get why he didn't. Just kind of unfortunate. And now it is 3rd and very long. This is the throw it to Brock Bowers or Davante Adams and see what happens. It's going to end up being Davante Adams. Just go up and get it, Davante. Ball didn't have enough on it, and Zamir White's actually injured. Getting quite a few of those, and we're going to give the ball back to the Panthers, and they'll have a really, really good chance to take the lead. So, not great. Screen! We played it pretty well, I guess. I couldn't get out there with Divine Diablo, otherwise we could actually seen some real big success. There's just so much bumping. It's so easy to run into somebody and not be able to get around them. And I really wish that was different. And this has not always been a problem in Madden to the level that it is in Madden 25, I would say. But it's an extreme issue in this game for me. I feel like I've never complained about this as much. 3rd and 10, under 6 to play. Big time for a stop here. And the Panthers might actually punt the football back, depending on what happens here. Young under pressure. He'll throw it away on 3rd and 10. And the Panthers will punt it back. Amir Abdullah back to return, and I do kind of fear Amir. He's fumbled in this game. We're just not going to take any contact. Great field position to start for us, though. Zamir White will come back out. 2 touchdowns, over 100 yards rushing. Definitely his best game for us, no question. 2nd and 9. I mean, we need more points. Bowers, nice catch. There was not a lot there. That was actually a really dangerous decision. Thankfully, we don't end up paying for it. 3rd and 4. Wide open is Jacoby Myers. A little bit of a spin move in place there, but a big first down, and that'll give us a really big opportunity to take a ton of time off the clock. We're going to bring this down under 3 minutes following this run from Zamir White. Back up the field. Didn't really get much, but that's okay. 3rd and 5. Final play before the 2-minute warning. Going to try and pass for it. Mayer just doesn't have the space. Bowers is open. Minshew, what a ball! Broken tackle, Brock Bowers, touchdown. That could do it here. We do give the Panthers time to feasibly get back into this game. But what a throw from Gardner Minshew. On the run, cross-body, finding the rookie tight end, who finds the end zone after a broken tackle. And the Panthers now find themselves in a really, really bad spot. 32-23, really, really bad. That is multiple scores. They're going to need a lot to happen. Okay, let's try to just double Adam Thielen or something. I'm sick of Adam Thielen beating us. Give me a hold here. Bring this back. Illegal contact on Divine Diablo. I don't know about that. I don't know where they're coming up with illegal contact on some of these. Oh, God, it's either CJ Uzama or Adam Thielen. Can't cover everybody. That was Thayer Munford on the sideline. Interesting. Looked a little slim. Cover Adam Thielen. If you want to check down, that's fine. I don't think Bryce Young's really capable of throwing it to anybody else other than Adam Thielen or CJ Uzama. We've seen Deontay Johnson like twice. Dude, why are you taking that angle? Please, dude. Adam Thielen has 15 catches for 154 yards, and I'm not even sure if Bryce Young has 200 yards passing today. That's where we are right now. He might be just over. Is that 352? What? From where? We've allowed 400 passing yards almost? I don't remember seeing any of them. Has it been that bad? Where are all these yards coming from? Intercepted, Divine Diablo. Just go down. Just go down. Dude. Why did he take it out? I didn't press anything. All right, we'll take the interception. But being on the 1 yard line is bad. The safety actually makes things pretty interesting here. And somehow we can't cut off the back of Andre James. I mean, the safety really makes things extremely interesting. No safety, please. All right, that should pretty much end it. 3rd and 7. Zamir White takes a big hit. We will have to punt the ball here. But they're going to get the ball back with like 10 seconds. There's not really a path to victory for them here. There really isn't. Here is the punt. It's a decent one. I don't think we're going to give a real opportunity for a return here. 8 seconds on the clock. The Panthers need a touchdown on this play with a second remaining. And then they need an onside kick and an instant score. Which, that's a lot that's going to have to happen, and it's not going to happen. Malcolm Kuntz back in the game. Seals it with the game-ending sack, and 32-23 is your final. What a weird game that was, to be honest. Gardner Minshew throws for 137 yards, 11 for 16. Where did the 352 come from is kind of what I'm wondering, but we'll see. Zamir White, 17 for 121, but it was really a long of 75 that ends up boosting these numbers considerably. Our run defense was amazing. I mean, Jonathan Brooks goes 6 for -1. Receiving, Uzama ends up with 128. Deontay Johnson had a decent game, actually. I did not know Uzama had 128. I would have guessed like 60, to be honest. 128. Where was I for this game? But Adam Thielen, dude, what are we doing? That was insane. We didn't really have to pass the ball very much in this one. It was like, throw it to Devontae Adams. It didn't really happen that much. And that's okay. A lot of TFLs for us today. Sacks for Kuntz, Eichenberg, and Diablo. A pick, of course, for Jack Jones that went the other way, and no forced fumbles because we don't force any. We only fumble ourselves. Zamir White does get a skill point for us, so we'll upgrade him. Really doesn't look all that bad, right? Pretty well balanced. I'd like to see juke move, spin move go up a little bit, make him a little bit more dynamic in space. Would be a big step up. But I don't know that we're ever going to see those be in a good spot. Like 82 for juke move and then 74 or 75 for spin move just isn't really that significant. Panthers dropped to 0-3. We improved to 2-1. And we will have a press conference before we play the 3-0 undefeated 85 overall Browns. Another week closer getting Max Crosby back. And then obviously Malcolm Kuntz is fine. Ends the game with a sack. He's going to be okay. But this is going to be the episode. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. And I will see you in the next one. Take it easy.